All right, I think this thing is recording. Welcome to another amateur model building session with me as I build a Gundam Wing Zero Ka version, I think they call it. I don't know. Well, it was. You just saw the box right there. Okay, first of all, let me point out that I am not a Gundam expert by any stretch of the imagination. I just like the robots. Mobile suits, I'm sorry, not robots, mobile suits. And I think they're just really cool. This particular one I discovered on eBay when I was doing a little research on getting a Gundam to build or another Gundam to build. I've actually built about 3 or 4. The last one I did, the Death Sigh, turned out very well, and I thought I would step up my game with getting a different version of a Gundam. And my research brought this one to my attention, called I think they call it the Master Grade. It sounded very interesting. I did more research on it and found out that this one has been done several times before, but this particular version is got all really new cool bells, whistles, posability, super detail. So that cuts down a lot of my work. Yes, I do not. I did not do the detailing on this one that I did with the Death Sigh, because actually the Death Sigh was a much older Gundam model, so it kind of needed a little extra help. This one really does not. And the other night I did a little researching to see if anybody else has done any Gundam build videos, and there were actually several out there. Some of them were very different, I guess you would say, very uniquely done. A lot more, I guess you would call it production value than what I'm able to put into mine, because I am the amateur builder. And let's just say, if you're an amateur builder and you've never built something like this before, you can do it, because I did it using what basic skills I have to build models with. And it turned out very well. As you can see me putting it together there, going through the parts and everything. And during the process of doing this particular time-lapse build on this one, I actually came up with, on my own, a way to streamline the video a little bit. So the next time I do another video, I'm going to use this method that you're going to see kick in here after I get through, I don't know, probably 5 or 6 steps. It just came to me. And then the other night, whenever I was researching to see what other kind of builds had been done, like this particular model, or any model, in fact, um, I, I actually saw the method I was using in my video. So I'm like, wow, okay, so it has been done before. It's a rather, I didn't like to do it that way. To me, it's a little out of my comfort zone, because it was kind of a scary process to do. But if you just follow the instructions closely, you really won't get into any trouble with it, because obviously what you're seeing here is the time-lapse build is me cutting off individual parts and then prepping them after I cut them off to put them together one at a time. And the process when it starts happening in here. Like I say, it's a few steps further in where I remove all of the parts at once and then prep them and have them all set up in order of the instructions when I start the camera to build. So technically it really does cut out a lot of the time-lapse build doing that way. I mean, I got to thinking nobody really needs to see all the freaking prep work on it. I could probably do it faster so that it wouldn't take quite as long, but I think the new thing, when it started kicking in, the video will pick up a lot of speed when you see the parts laid out, and all I have to do is just put them together. That's really the easy part. The prep work on this model was probably the most time-consuming part, because I got to get new nips. That's just all there is to it. I just have to face the facts. I've got to get new nips, because my nips right now do not clip the part as clean as I think it really should. So I can't believe they've gotten that dull or that old that quick. I haven't used them that long. I haven't had them that long. But oh, there you go. That was the one part I did do a little detail on, is the head. There's two engraved lines there that needed to be darkened to match the box a little closer. So I did that. That took all of like 2 minutes or less. But yes, prepping all these parts was just the more time-consuming part, because I use an X-Acto knife. Yes, I'm an amateur, so I use an X-Acto knife to do these parts, scrape them down a little bit to make the blending process a little better. I found out that that's what they call a undergate process. Whenever you clip the part off and there's a little piece of the flash plastic there, you have to trim it off so that whenever you put the parts together, then they fit more smoothly. So yes, I did that on a lot. Well, you got to do it on all of them. I had to do it on all of them. My nips were terrible. But I would like to also point out that this is a lot of parts in this particular Gundam. I mean, holy crap, there was a lot of parts. And if you're not familiar with the name Adam Savage, look that up on YouTube. He is the second party to the Mythbusters guys, and he carried on a little bit of his stuff on YouTube and another show that he had, Savage Builds. But he's got a lot of YouTube videos where he does build a lot of stuff, and I've been catching some of the stuff that he builds. The guy is just unbelievably, he's just incredible. He's a big bundle of energy is what he is. I would love to meet him at some convention sometime or another in the future. I really would. He just seems like a really cool guy to meet. I've met some of the other people that did Mythbusters, and they were generally nice people too. But what happened was I was watching one of his episodes, and he built a Gundam perfect grade model, which I can't afford. Not yet, anyway. Not probably anytime soon. The perfect grade Gundam he built, I think, retails for somewhere starting, if you're lucky, $250 and goes up to like $400. It's a crazy price. So, no, I can't afford it. But watching him build his Gundam, his very first Gundam build, it inspired me. And I thought, well, I've got this Wing Zero. It's been sitting over here for a couple of months now. I need to put it together. I need to do one of my incredibly fantastic videos of a time-lapse build of a Wing Gundam being put together. Just seeing my hands at work as I make everything come together. It's just so exciting, is it not? Come on. You got to be freaking out, going like, wow, how long did it take him to do this? Well, it did not take long. I was actually shocked at that. It took me, I want to say the build took 4 or 5 days. I could have probably done it a little quicker, but I like to space it out a little bit, because sitting on my hiney doing a model like this does take time. So there you go. I did space it out. One of the other Gundam videos I watched where a fellow built this exact same model, put wiring and lights in it. I'm like, come on. That was absolutely amazing. I mean, he didn't have to put a lot of lights in it to really make it look cool, but it was just the fact that he did it. Wiring, lights, well, LEDs, obviously the LED lights with, I think it was powered by 4 button cells in the cockpit part of the model. So that was impressive. And also he added an extra backpack section to add like 2 extra wing sections onto it to give it more wings. I'm going like, holy crap! This, some people have a lot more time and expertise than I do when it comes to doing this kind of thing. So I just like putting them together. Now, I'm going to brag on myself here, because I did something in my video. Okay, well, let me just firstly state, I started out doing something in my videos of building this, but I didn't include it in the video because, one, it was super tedious, super involved. Hey, check it out. Here, I got the torso, upper torso, arms, and the head done there. Oh, you see, there it is. I've laid out the parts. They've already been prepped. And now all I got to do is just put them together. Now, from here to actually start picking up a lot more speed. I know it's still an 18-minute video, but it picks up a lot more speed here, putting these parts together, following the instructions and everything. Now, what I was getting to before, I did something that in the other 2 or 3 videos that I looked at that no one has done. And I know why. I used the decals that came with the kit. Now, I'm not just talking the stickers that are added for color. Check out that. They're all laid out like the steps. That makes it a whole lot easier putting together. But yeah, I used the stickers on the model. I liked them. I think they worked great. But I went as far as to doing the decals. I was adding the decals to them. There are 157 decals on this model. And I'm sorry, Bandai makes a great model kit. All these parts fit together so well. Just standard prepping, putting them together, they go together amazingly well. Just step-by-step instruction. The instructions are clear, concise. Just take your time and just it all goes together. Look how fast these legs are going together after I had all the parts cut out. But their decal sheet is it's very reminiscent of the old decals for my cars from earlier in life, what we call water slide decals. They're the best decals ever made. Some of these new decals that come with kits now, the decals are so apt to rip if you're not careful whenever you're applying them. But the water slide decals are usually the best. But the water slide decals that came with this kit are awful. I mean, just they're detailed. They look great. But here's the thing. When you get them on the model, Look at that crap. Holy crap, I'm finished it. Well, the main portion of the body, now I'm going into the wings. But when you get them on the model, even after they dry, apparently they don't stick. I'm sorry. Yeah, they just don't stick. If you handle the model after they've dried, you can wipe them right off. Now, did you see that? Did you see that? I had to use glue. This is like the only section where I had to use glue on those wingtips down there. They did not quite come together completely, so I added just a dab of glue on that and squeezed it pretty good and to keep it from coming apart. What you see right there is I was scraping that leading edge to get a more smoother look, and it worked. I'm actually a decent enough modeler that I know how to do that and get a good blended look along that wing edge, because that's a really nice wing. Oh, I swear it is. It's a really great wing, and I wanted it to look at least really, really nice. And okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and put this out there because nobody comments on my videos. Okay, the only people that comment on my videos are just people that want to say, "Oh, I watched your video and I saw what you did wrong. Let me tell you what you did wrong. I know what you did wrong. You suck." Okay, there it is. Okay, the wings are backwards. They're on the wrong side. I figured it out later on that I had put the wings on in the wrong direction. Okay, are you happy now? I did figure it out. But I swear, when I was looking at the instructions to make sure I would get them on the right side, I thought I was getting them, according to the picture, on the right side. So I made a mistake, but I fixed it. I did fix it. Now I'm putting the guns together there. The guns were pretty easy to go together. And getting back to the decals, I did all the body Gundam decals on it and got over somewhere just slightly over 100 when realized these things aren't sticking worth a damn. So I quit. I'm like, I'm not putting these decals on the wings, so why keep cutting them out? 157. Do you have any idea how long it takes to put those things on? It took a long time. I love the stand that comes with this thing. I wish I'd have got a better shot of this, but I got a ton of pictures of it after I finished it. So hopefully you'll stay long enough to look at the pictures. My pictures aren't the best. Okay, I know that already. Don't send me crappy comments about, "Oh, your pictures suck." They're not I'm an amateur builder. Okay, please keep that in mind. Amateur building, so I'm taking amateur pictures. I don't have a turntable yet either, but I'm going to eventually get one. So here I am, dinkling around with the guns and trying to figure out how everything goes together. Oh, and let me get into this part. I broke one of the wing pieces on the support structures, so I had to repair that. That was a freaking nightmare, and I didn't even think that was possible. So there's my finished product on the stand with the holding the. I linked both the twin buster and had him holding the twin buster in one hand. I thought that was pretty damn cool. Here come my pictures. Oh yeah, here come the pictures. I'm not going to slow down the pictures. If you want to stop it and look at them, that's fine by me. But the video was already long enough, so I thought I would just breeze through the pictures. Look at the knee bend there. The detail, nice details, incredible. No painting except for on the head part there for the two splades. Some of these you'll probably see the wings are probably backwards, but eventually I figured out what I did wrong and fixed them so that they look right. This is the only time you will see this in the in atmosphere mode and the out of atmosphere mode, because getting that in those configurations like to have drove me crazy, and that's what also caused me to break one of the wings trying to do that attachment properly. I was too rough on it. Yes, I broke my model, but I fixed it. I got it fixed, and it's in full display now. I will eventually do that, get it in full display. I got to find some place to put it. God, my case is full. But these are all my pictures of my finished product. I'm satisfied with the way it turned out. There it is. That's a nice one. And I hope y'all enjoy my time-lapse build of the Gundam Wing Zero. I know I had a good time building it, and well, that's what you do when you do amateur modeling. You try to build it as best you can and get a cool looking model when you're done. So that's the final configuration that I will be displaying it in right there, with a twin buster with a rifle, one tucked away in the wing, and the shield being held by one arm too. I love the shield configuration thing. That's pretty cool. All right, well, I will give y'all the rest of the pictures, and thanks for watching the video. Y'all have a good evening.